Hey guys, it's I.B.B. Post commentary here again, and there's a reason for all of this. It's because a few days ago I squatted a bunch of games with some clan members, and there were just several of these games, so I'm featuring several of these games, and I was on comms with them, and so it's post commentary instead of live commentary. Unless you want to listen to a bunch of burping and odd bodily sounds like that, because that's what we do on comms. That's Alright, so we're jumping in here on Dead City, and I'm breaking out my mid-range Griff. And the thing about doing YouTube videos is that your good stuff that you do and the bad stuff that you do is on display for everybody to see. So anybody who wants to know my playing style can just tune into my channel and see what kind of playing style I do. And I don't think it's any great secret or anything like that. And so one of the things that I don't do is I don't come out here and just start blazing a trail with rockets and plasma. I am very cerebral. I do have a tendency to survey the scene a lot, and so you'll see me go back and forth from target to target. And what I'm doing there is just checking those ranges, and I'm also looking at the movements. Now, when I'm engaged with someone like here, in this instance right here, I'm not just looking at him. I'm not just focused on him. I'm actually looking at, where are the arrows on the side of the screen? Where are the other red team members at? And so oftentimes, and sometimes when I'm doing live commentary, you'll hear me do that as well. I'll be looking, and my targeting system is on one player, but then I will make a comment about somebody that I see off to my left or my right. And that's because, as I'm walking somewhere, these bots are slow enough, you can take your eye off of who it is that you're trying to engage, and you can look to your left and your right, and you can survey that scene, and you can get a feel for all of that. And so when you're playing this game, if that is something that you find difficult to do, like you have to focus in on somebody, I would encourage you to try and work on that, because that will elevate your gameplay, and it will make you a very difficult kill. So you can see here in a lot of my gameplay, and especially in this one, there are things that I do that, other players will just go, and I'm not talking anybody specific that would happen to be playing in this game. I'm just talking in general. There are players in this game that just rush for the nearest red team member and start firing. And that just is not how I play the game. Sometimes I will make aggressive, bold moves like what I did just there, because I was going after a certain player on the red team. It was that stalker I was going after, and I wanted to get him before he got behind cover. And so I will sacrifice bots like that. I will do things like that if I feel that it is going to benefit the team later on in this game, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to let those stalkers run around in a game just grabbing beacons willy-nilly. I don't know how many games. In fact, I just got into a game just tonight where it was on the moon map, and my team was actually down a player. It was 5-on-6 the entire time. The sixth player on my team just never dropped in, and we ended up winning that game because one player on my team had 9 beacons, I had 5 beacons, and someone else had 4 beacons, and then the other player had 3 beacons, and then somebody else had 1 beacon. And we just out-beaconed the other team through the whole thing. They sort of went around as a group and just shooting people. And that's what I'm talking about, not being cerebral in your gameplay. When you're not thinking, what you're going to do is you're just going to travel with the crowd, and you're going to shoot at whoever it is that's right in front of you. But in that instance, what we did, several of us did actually, is we actually watched the movements of the red team members, and then we just went the opposite way to grab their beacons. And they just were not able to overcome that. So in this situation right here, I saw that I was up against multiple red team members. They all had splash damage. There was no way I was going to be able to survive that engagement. So what I decided to do was just hightail it right across this part of the map so that I could maybe get some fire in on somebody that's not paying any attention to me. And I was just hoping that nobody with a griffin would jump up over that structure behind me and take me out from behind. And they didn't. I ended up working my way over here, and I helped out a teammate to defend our side beacon. So that's what I'm talking about. There's another example of being cerebral when you're playing the game, knowing when you're outmatched and you're outgunned. Don't stand there and try to take them on toe to toe. It's just silly. You see it all the time, because I think some people just have, you know, I don't know if they feel like it's moxie or bravado or whatever it is, but really when I play this game, I do not play for high damage. I don't care if I'm first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth on the team. I want the win. That's what I want, ultimately, and that is just a personality trait, I think. Stats be damned, I want the win. And so the way that I play the game is in whatever fashion that I feel that that game is going to need to be played in order to bring home the W. So you can see here there's a couple of red team members, but I'm not backing off from this because I do have another teammate over here to my right. And right now his fire, I noticed, was on my teammate. Now usually what will happen is that will be like that until you start firing at them, and then they will actually switch. And that's something that I try not to do. Some people think that you're just not paying attention sometimes. I've seen it in other people's videos where they come up on somebody, they're firing at another team member, and then they start firing on that red team member, and they never switch their engagement. And I actually think that that's the right way to handle that in most instances, unless you're not doing any damage to that red team member. Once you engage someone, stay on that engagement, because it takes time for you to switch targets, and that time could mean the difference between being successful in that engagement or losing it. So here I'm grabbing their side beacon, and this has been a pretty close game here, and I was just waiting for somebody to drop in so that I could tag him a little bit. Unfortunately, it was just somebody with an Ansel shield. Otherwise, I would have had him there. But that's probably one of those things that you don't get to do too often in these upper tiers. At the lower levels, you do that all the time. You just run down there, grab their home beacon, ain't nobody pay no attention. But at these upper tiers, that's really a rare opportunity. And when I get them, I like to take them. So alright, you're going to see me actually walk around this beacon right now. I don't actually take that beacon, and there's a reason for that. It's because we were wanting damage. I was on comms with Patriot again, and we were saying, hey, you know what, we probably got this thing in the bag because it's 6-3, so let's just get some damage. And so I just walked around that beacon without getting it. Unfortunately, one of my teammates ended up getting the beacon as well, and he's probably thinking, geesh, I.B.B. throw me a bone here, why don't you grab the beacon? Well, there was a reason why I didn't grab that beacon. Alright, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. I have new gameplay videos every single day. Smash the thumbs up, thumbs down button. Don't be shy, leave a comment down below.